Hi, this is Yo Sensei. In today's tutorial, we are going to learn how to create simple motion graphics for spatial design, including architects and interior designers using Adobe After Effects. This is a cool way to communicate your concept using a simple animation. We will be using keyframes for position, scale, and opacity. Mograph Motion 2 plugin is used for this tutorial. You can download the files we use in this tutorial from the description section. To have a Illustrator file, and in this case I have prepared 3 different types of Illustrator file to explain a certain condition of the spatial design. So the way this file is organized is that I have a background that is a background color, just a fill, and I have organized all of the elements by layer. So lounging, text, objects are all separated into different files, different layers. So we can animate each element in After Effects. The way artboard is set up is that the artboard is 1920 by 1020p, and this is the HD 1080p format, which is going to be the format for the video. Okay, if we take a look at the next file, I have all of the background, text, and all the elements are separated into different layers. So each part can be animated. So as the last one. Okay. So it's organized like this. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do after opening up After Effects is to go to File, Import, File, and go to your directly, and this week 10 AC, A, B, C, 3 files. One thing that you need to be really very careful is to change import as composition retain layer sizes. If you do this, then it's going to be imported as a After Effects composition from Illustrator, and this is super important. If you don't have it, you won't get it. So open this up. So I have 3 compositions here and the folders. And so first thing, if I double click A for composition, so this is already a composition that is 1080p, and all of the layers are laid out here, which is really nice. So first thing that you're gonna go to composition settings, composition settings, and change the time to 10 seconds. So 1000, that would make it 10 seconds. 1000. Okay. So now we can click on all of these objects except for the background, which you can just lock layer, and press P key on your keyboard to bring out the position keyframes. So press P to bring position keyframes. So I am going to move my timeline to 15 frame, and then click on keyframe for all of these layers. Okay, and then go back to my first 0 layer, and then start moving them away from the frame. Oops. Okay, so what it does is that it creates this motion coming out from outside. Okay, that's nice. So now after having these come out, you can select all of the keyframes and go to Motion 2 and drag the middle slider to somewhere around like 60 or 70. 60. I'm just going to do it 60. So if you do that, then it's going to give you this kind of quick and nicely tuned motion. Okay, so that's good. So now we are at 15 frame, So we are going to have this staying for 3 seconds from here. So I am going to move my slider to 315 frame, select all of the keyframes, and then now you have to click on this area of the keyboard, okay, on the layer panel. So this part means that you are adding a keyframe to the position, but position hasn't moved. So click these. So these will add the keyframe on 315. Okay. So between here, between 15 and 315, they are the same keyframe. So they will be static for a while. Okay. So after that, 315 to 4 seconds, we're gonna go to 4 seconds. So we can get them out of the frame again, the way they came in. Okay. Oops. So what it's going to look like is when you play it, everything comes together and then everything splits. So that's great. So now what we would like to do is to shift all of the keyframes. So for the text, for each of them, I would like to shift them by 5 frames. So you can manually move these guys 5 frames, and you can read at info for which frame is in time and which frame is out time. Okay, but the easier way to do it is to select all of the keyframes, and for Macintosh, hold Option and right arrow. So 5 times. For Windows, it's Alt and right arrow. Option, right arrow. 2, 3, 4, 5. Option, right arrow. So 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So if you do that, then it's going to come in this beautiful delayed action, and they will go away. It's quite nice. I don't actually want this thing to start for maybe 15 frame, so I can select all of the keyframes again, and then Option, right arrow. Okay, so it's going to be slight delay. So okay, that's nice. Another thing that could be useful is to select all of the keyframes and click on this part that is a motion blur. So if you activate motion blur, when they are moving, they look like they're blurring as they move. So that's good for the first composition. Okay, so this one was keyframing by the position, the P keyframe. So when you open up layer B, you can select everything and press S to open up the scale keyframe. Okay. So, again, we're gonna do the same thing, but I think we would like to move our background first. So actually you have to go and change composition settings, and this one is 30 seconds, so we would like to change it to 10 seconds. Okay, and then go back to our first background. So background is going to scale up to appear. So again, we're gonna go to 15 frame, and then actually we can do everything all together. So select everything. Go to 15th frame, and then activate scale keyframe, and then you're going to go back to 0. And then for the first one, we are going to uncheck the scale constraints. So we would like to just scale only in one direction. It's the motion graphics thing that if you scale the whole thing as a proportion, it doesn't look great. So the way we're going to do it is we just change scale in one direction. So this one should appear from here this way. So we're going to change the y value to 0. Okay, and for B, this one is going to be actually text. We don't want to change the scale of the text, so instead we can just activate P for the position keyframe and go to 15 frame and then just keep the position, go back and get them to move out of the frame. For B1, that would be horizontal. So I think we would like to change the X value to 0. For B2, this one should be vertical, so Y value to be 0. For number 3, this one is going to be horizontal, so 0 for the X. B4, same, X, 0 for the X. And B05, this one is vertical, so Y value is 0. B6 is horizontal, so X value is 0. Okay. So now what we can see is we can actually select all of the keyframes and move it, hold Shift and move to maybe number 1, because we want the background to appear. Then our stuff will begin. So now everything is moving at the same time. So now we can shift everything. But we have to again do this movement thing. So we are at this static position now. So we're gonna add 3 more seconds to it. So 2:15, 3:15, 4:15. So that would be our new location. And then select all of the keyframes and click on the adding keyframe, static keyframe. Okay, so that is that. I think we should do it for the text also. Okay, so now after 4:15, after 4:15 and 5:00, we are going to again do the scale keyframe. But what you can do is you can click on the keyframe and copy and then press paste, Control C and V, and it will paste to where the timeline is. And unfortunately, you have to do this one by one. Copy and paste, and Command C and Command V, Command C and Command V, Command C and Command V. Okay, copy and paste. So what happens is that you can, play it like this. It's gonna stay for 3 seconds and then disappear. So that's nice. Now we are going to go back to the motion 2 again and add the easy ease keyframe. So 65, something like that. And then shift each keyframe by 5 frames by holding Option and right arrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Option and right arrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that way it's going to look like this. Ooh. Very nice. So that is the second composition using the scale. So number 3, we are going to use opacity. So first, we can change the composition setting to 10 again. In case you're wondering why I'm doing 15 frames for the motion, it's about half a second, and that's a pretty good speed for the motion. You can adjust the distance between the keyframes to adjust the speed of it too. So selecting all of these back object and type T for opacity. It came from transparency, but it shows opacity, so it's kind of weird, but it's okay. So you can move to 15 frame, opacity to be 100% for every frame, move it back and change everything to 0%. Again, go 3 seconds further, 115, 215, 315. Keep the same keyframe here at 100%, and then moves your slider to 4, and then slide it down to 0. Okay. Except for the last one, I would like to keep the opacity of the background. So that's good. We will select everything and click on Motion 2 and change it to, this one can be slightly less, for the easy ease. So I'm doing something like 39. So now if I play everything, it's going to show up. So now then we can move everything to start at maybe 1 second, and then for the rest of it, I'm going to keep shifting by 5 keyframes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Again, this is Option and right arrow. In Windows, it's Alt and right arrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So it's going to look like this. So it's animating by the opacity. So that's quite nice. So we have 3 compositions that we created. That would be this one by movement, and this one that is the scale only in one direction. We could actually add motion blur to this, so that would be here. And motion blur doesn't really matter in the opacity layer, but I just do it for the hell of it. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So next, we are going to go and create new composition. So I think this whole movie is going to be about 15 seconds. So I'm just gonna create 30 seconds, 30 seconds composition. Okay, and then you can just drag and drop your compositions into it. And okay, so we have 3 compositions. I think A should be bottom of B and C should be bottom of A. So we are going to play this one, and then when it goes away, I think we can bring in the next layer to be on top of it, and then this can come. And so I think about here, about 18 seconds, this is probably the end of it. So I can go to composition settings and change it to 1800. Okay, so in the end, we have a complete animation that is using the position, scale, and opacity. Very nice. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna do is we are going to import music. So if you have some kind of music, you should use whatever you like to use. I like to go to Bensounds and get some nice jazzy tune. Is there a way to okay, so I'm gonna just use this piano jazz. Okay, so now I can just drag and drop this sound into it, and then what you're gonna do is you open up this audio layer, sublayer, and click on. So let's look at where the animation is going to start to fade, and add audio level keyframe there, and then move it to the last of the slider, and then drag the audio level to whatever the lowest number. So in the end, we can have the animation with the sound. that's nice. Okay, so when you are done, you can go to, it's a good idea to save the file before exporting. So I am going to do that. Okay, so after saving the After Effects file, you can go to Composition and add to Adobe Media Encoder Queue. This is going to let you export your video. So this will open up in Media Encoder in a few minutes. Okay, here you go. If you don't see this as H.264, you're gonna have to change the setting. But right now, the setting should be H.264, and for that matter, the default setting is fine. Okay, so then you can select where it's going to go, so it's going to be in the same. It should be in the same folder as the project file, and then you can type, simple graphics motion. Okay, and click on Start Queue. So that's it for today's tutorial. I hope this is going to be useful to communicate your idea for the spatial design projects. Thank you very much.